10 years ago, I caused unintentional harm to one of my patients. We'll call her Sarah. Sarah was a florist in her 40s, married to a loving husband. We'll call him Frank. She underwent what was supposed to be a routine operation, but instead, she ended up in the critical care unit, dying from septic shock. Inadvertently, I had caused a hole in her intestine, leading to severe complications. That evening, I rounded on Sarah in the ICU, and I was concerned about her grave condition. I was also very apprehensive about updating Frank on her situation. At that moment, I was overwhelmed with guilt, shame, dealing with feelings of failure, and fearing judgment from my peers. Ironically, what allowed me to endure and ultimately grow from this experience was something I learned as a young surgical resident while watching the popular American medical drama, Grey's Anatomy. I know it sounds odd to find professional inspiration in a fictional hospital staffed by incredibly good-looking doctors, but those dramatized storylines held a powerful truth. They hinted at something beyond mere resilience, something called anti-fragility. In his seminal work, Anti-Fragile, Things That Gain from Disorder, Nassim Nicholas Taleb coined the term anti-fragility to describe systems that don't just withstand shocks, but actually improve and grow stronger when exposed to stress, volatility, and disorder. According to Taleb, while resilient systems merely bounce back from challenges, anti-fragile systems thrive on challenges. So let me explain further. Resilience is the ability to recover or bounce back without necessarily reflecting on the situation or learning from it. So picture one of those inflatable clown punching bags for kids. You knock it down and it pops right back up. And you knock it down again without any real transformation. Now, anti-fragility, on the other hand, uses stress, adversity, and chaos to become stronger, better, and more agile. So think of bamboo. It's one of the fastest growing plants on Earth. It's hardy, flexible, and it's designed to absorb pressure. Bamboo will flow with the wind, and its hollow yet robust strength symbolizes true anti-fragility. Anti-fragility simply isn't about bouncing back. It's about harnessing every setback to become an even more potent version of ourselves. And as a surgeon with 20 years of experience in the medical profession, I've learned that embracing anti-fragility is essential, especially when the stakes are high. In my journey, I've identified 3 practical ways to apply anti-fragility. Number 1, embrace the chaos. Instead of fearing uncertainty, see chaos as a catalyst for growth. Acknowledge that when mistakes or challenges happen, these become opportunities to evolve. 2, create feedback loops. Open, honest communication is key. And when mistakes happen, share them, reflect, and iterate based on feedback, whether it's constructive or not. This continuous improvement process will turn setbacks into valuable lessons. And then 3, foster a growth culture. Build an environment where we support empathy and trust, so that when mistakes happen, we use them as learning opportunities rather than failures. Such a culture not only strengthens individuals, but it will also empower entire teams to grow around a shared purpose. In my ordeal with Sarah and Frank, these principles guided me, and I still use them to shape my work as a surgeon, a leader, and a mentor. So my 13-year-old daughter, Brooke, loves watching the old episodes of Grey's Anatomy, on her phone no less. One evening, as she sat at our kitchen table, absorbed in the show, I could hear the dramatized chaos of interns heroically saving patients with incurable cancer, grappling with fatal gunshot wounds, and complaining about breakfast of Red Bull and Cheetos. There were even over-the-top moments of drama where an active shooter emerged from the hospital corridor as a vengeful ex-patient. Brookie paused from looking at her phone, and with a curious expression on her face, she asked me, "Dad, you're a trauma surgeon, right?" Smiling, I kind of sat up a little straighter in my chair, trying to look impressive. And I replied, "Oh yeah, that's exactly how it was. In fact, that's how I met your mom." Without missing a beat, she looked back at her phone, rolled her eyes, and quipped, "That's pretty cringe, Dad. You have like no riz." Meaning my flirting skills are non-existent. And while our reality is far less theatrical than the television show, Grey's Anatomy does offer a compelling illustration of anti-fragility. Take Dr. Meredith Grey, for example. She's one of the central characters of the show who rises from being an unsure intern to becoming the chief of surgery. For 20 seasons, she's navigated more disasters than most hospitals in an entire lifetime. Despite plane crashes, ferry boat disasters, mass shootings, and profound personal loss, she evolves with every crisis, embodying the essence of anti-fragility. So let's look at some key moments from Grey's Anatomy that are lessons learned. In the ferry boat disaster, Meredith experiences one of her lowest moments after nearly drowning. Instead of breaking, she confronts her trauma, learns from it, and becomes more empathetic toward her patients. In the mass shooting, the hospital suffers an unimaginable tragedy. But in its aftermath, protocols improve, bonds strengthen, and Meredith helps her team emerge more united. And then there's the death of McDreamy. Dr. Derek Shepard is Meredith's husband and one of the most beloved characters on the show, known as McDreamy. The death of McDreamy is personally devastating for Meredith, but it leads her to redefine her identity beyond being Derek's wife and to take steps toward becoming a leader, an innovator, and a mentor. These moments illustrate anti-fragility in action. It's not about avoiding hardships. It's about using them to fuel your passion, to fuel your growth. In healthcare, our challenges are very real. We face endless regulation, reliance on a clunky electronic medical record, and numerous insurance hurdles, like the prior authorization. And these feel like insurmountable roadblocks to well-meaning physicians who are just trying to provide care for our patients. And while on TV, you may see a bomb squad called in while a surgeon is removing a gallbladder in the operating room, or the medical team breaking into a choreographed song and dancing over a dead body, our challenges are far less theatrical. The pressures of modern medicine are immense, characterized by long hours, life or death decisions, and less time with our patients. And many physicians feel morally under assault and unable to live up to the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm. And the outcomes are bleak, not just for patients, but for the physicians themselves. A widely cited study by the American Medical Association shows that doctors are 2 to 4 times more likely to die by suicide compared to other U.S. professionals. And I have felt this loss firsthand. Friends, colleagues, who became overwhelmed by a system demanding perfection with little room for human vulnerabilities. And their loss still hurts deeply. And I wonder if my colleagues had been exposed to the tenets of anti-fragility, would they have chosen a different path? Let's return to Sarah's story. After realizing my mistake, I confronted the chaos head on. I explained the error to Frank, Sarah's husband, and I offered a sincere apology. And I had no idea what he would say or how he would even respond. In that emotionally charged moment, to my surprise, Frank not only reassured me, he hugged me. His embrace, filled with empathy and understanding, marked a turning point from blame to shared humanity. This simple act emboldened me to engage in honest feedback loops and to work relentlessly toward improving our processes. Supported by a just culture within our hospital, where mistakes are viewed as learning opportunities with shared accountability without blame, I was able to transform this crisis. Against all odds, after 4 more surgeries, months in the hospital, and a focused intent on Sarah's rehabilitation, she recovered. But she didn't just recover, she flourished. She emerged from the hospital in better shape than prior to the original operation. It's an anti-fragile approach to turning devastation into success. So, imagine a world where every setback makes us stronger, where organizations don't just weather storms, but actually emerge from them transformed. Beyond healthcare, anti-fragility extends to all domains: technology, business, and even our responses to geopolitical conflict. And here's the thing. Anti-fragility can be that spark for worldwide transformation that will ignite unprecedented shifts in global kindness, fostering robust communication, and building a fortified approach toward our collective future. It's the key to unlocking transformational change on every scale. As we conclude, I want to emphasize the 3 ways of applying anti-fragility in our lives. By embracing the chaos, creating feedback loops, and fostering a growth culture, we turn our setbacks and challenges into stepping stones toward greatness. Whether you're a surgeon, student, teacher, entrepreneur, or a parent, these principles can apply to you and those around you to become truly anti-fragile. So if Meredith Grey were here tonight, she'd probably say something wise and slightly sardonic like, "Don't be the inflatable clown, be the essence of bamboo." But since she isn't, I'll leave you with this. Life, like surgery, it's unpredictable. It'll throw you curveballs, disasters, and unexplained musical episodes in your direction. But with an anti-fragile mindset, we won't just survive, we'll evolve. Let's embrace the art of anti-fragility. Let's become stronger, wiser, and better. Not in spite of life's challenges, but because of them. Thank you.